In my last video I installed these Taco rub rail lights, and they were in preparation to install a 96-inch Rhodan trolling motor. So I'm back to that project, and let's take the next step and actually install the motor. Just remove the self-tappers from the existing pop-up nav light and it'll come right out. I've already disconnected the electrical connections, but you'll likely have to do that on your project. In most cases, you're going to have to do some fiberglass work to fill that hole. I'm using a Shuttle Slide mount, and I'm hoping that that bracket is wide enough to actually cover the hole. Here I'm using the base bracket from the Shuttle Slide mount to see if I can cover the hole and get the motor aligned properly with my gunnel and make sure the motor is spaced far enough away from the rub rail and the anchor. Here I'm using a tape measure as a long straight edge. I'm trying to make sure that I have the 9 feet necessary to keep the head of the motor over top of my gunnel. This plate wants at least 6 inches to the rub rail from these holes, and I have that on even on this one. I have like 5 1/4. After rechecking the mount and the angles about 500,000 times, I decided to temporarily install the plate with some self-tapping screws. Remember, anytime you're using self-tapping screws in fiberglass, you need to drill pilot holes. So here I'm assembling the parts of the Shuttle Slide, and the first is the bearing plate that has a groove in it, and then the top plate. Once these are all together, you can use the stainless steel hardware that was supplied with the kit. You're going to get washers and lock nuts, put all these on, and we're going to tighten them down for our first test fit. I had previously removed the Rhodan puck from the bottom of the motor mount, and I replaced it with the brackets that came in the Shuttle Slide kit. And here I'm test fitting the entire package onto the plate to make sure everything lines up before I through bolt that plate in place. Now's the time to double check all your clearances and make sure you like where the motor head is positioned. I'm also going to measure for a stabilizer bar here because I don't like the one that came with the Rhodan motor itself. I'm happy with the positioning of the bracket and the motor mount, so I've drilled out all the holes 1/4 inch. I cleaned off the old caulking from the nav light, and here I'm applying some marine adhesive sealant to the back of the bracket, and don't be shy with this stuff. Okay, this plate is going on for the very last time. Here I'm installing the stainless steel 1/4 hardware that came with the Shuttle Slide kit. Here I'm using a piece of 1/8 inch thick aluminum as a backing plate. I'm also using flat washers and lock nuts. You do not need a 1/4 inch backing plate. The main legs on tuna towers are only through bolted with 1/8 inch backing plates, so this will be more than sufficient for a trolling motor. Here I'm tightening up the nuts, and I am using a screw gun. Just be careful, don't use it at high speed or you could ball the threads and you'll have to break the bolts off. Here's what the motor looks like with a ram mount stabilizer attached to the railing of the boat. In my next video I'll go through all the electrical and charging connections to make this motor actually work. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you, and tight lines.